Hello everyone, it's Rebecca from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card using the Flower Builder collection. So we're going to use a few different elements and I'm going to show you how to create the full card. So to get started, I have taken an 8x8 inch card blank and I have taken our basic Decagon's nesting dies. And I'm going to take the second die, the second largest one, and I'm just going to pop that onto my card. So I'm just going to overlap it over the fold a little bit, and we're going to create a shaped card blank. So I'm just going to grab in some low tack tape and we'll just stick that down into place like so. Okay, I'm going to bring in my plates. So I'm going to use my white cutting plate. I'm going to flip the die over so it's facing up. Oh, I'm going to pop that in first onto there. So onto the plastic, and then I'm going to pop the clear one on the top. And then we'll just feed that through the machine. Peel away the excess, like so. Just get rid of that. And then you can see we've got that lovely shaped card blank. I'll just move those plates out of the way. Then what I've done is I've taken the same die and I've cut it from another piece of white card. So this time we've got the full shape. So this one's missing a little tiny bit at the top where we obviously overlapped it to create the shaped card. So I've cut that again. So we've got the full shape. And I'm going to edge this with some glitter. So I'm just going to bring in some scrap paper. And then I'm going to grab my chisel tip glue pen. I'm just going to edge all the way around here using our chisel tip glue pen. So I'm just going to drag it towards me and then move to the next section. All the way around, just spinning the card as we go. And then I'm going to use some Crystal Crush Sparklicious. A big tub of it here, so I'm just going to dunk it in and tap it off. And then I'm going to bring that card blank back in and we're going to stick this onto the front. So I'm just going to use some Collal All-Purpose just to stick that on. Like so. And I'll just manoeuvre that into place. And then you can see we've got that lovely shaped card with a glittery edge. Okay, then taking one of the patterned papers from the paper pad in this collection, and we're going to stick this onto the front. So I want the pink bit, I think, at the top. So we're going to use some foam pads to stick that on. So just grab some of those. And I'm just going to stick those onto the back. So now I'll just peel off the backs. So I'll just get rid of the rubbish and then we're going to stick that on. Again, however you like it. I really like this design with the rainbow colours with the little spots. Okay, so that's the start of our card. I've then cut a smaller Decagon so that we can still see some of that lovely paper behind. Again, I've just cut this one from white card, so I'll just bring in my scrap paper because we're going to edge this one with some Crystal Crush again. So again, same as before, one section at a time, and just keep spinning the piece of card round, dragging towards you with the glue pen, like so. And then again, dunk it in the Crystal Crush. And then we're going to stick this one on again with some foam pads. Like so. And then stick that into the centre. Just check which way. Okay. Then taking the next Decagon, so the next size down, and this one we're then going to use our lovely 3D embossing fold. So use the Flower Bouquet for this design. So I'm just going to pop that into the folder. I'm going to put that as far up as I can. I'm not too bothered if this flower comes over the edge a little bit, because you're not going to see once we've stuck on our vellum flowers. I'm going to pop that in like that. Then I'm going to bring in my plates. So I'm going to use my cutting plate, pop the folder in with the cardstock and my plastic on top, and we'll feed that through the machine. Take that out and you can see that lovely embossed design on there. Right, okay, so for the leaves, what I've done is I've taken a Copic marker, and this one's called Lime Green, it's G21. And all I've done is I've just coloured over the leaves. So I'm just applying a little bit of colour over the leaves and the stems. So I'm just going to go, I've got one of these already done and dry, so I'll just show you. So you're going to go around and you're going to do that to all of the little leaves and the stems. And then I've taken some sugared lime Sparkalicious, and we're just going to, I'll just grab some scotch tape again so I don't get this everywhere. We're just going to trace over those leaves. Like so. Tracing over with your dry clear glue, and then we're going to cover that with sugared lime. And you can see how it just, because the sugared lime is quite a pale colour, adding the darker green underneath just gives it a little bit more pop to the leaves. So I've got one that I've already done. I'll just pop that one over there to dry. So this one I've already done, so you can just see how I've got those lovely glittery green leaves. Okay, so I'm going to again edge this with some Sparkalicious, with some Crystal Crush. So I'm just going to drag my glue pen towards me on all of the sections. I think it's a lovely spring-like card, this one. Okay. And then grab the Crystal Crush again. I'm just going to dunk that in all the way around, like so. Okay, and then we'll grab it in our card again. Make sure we've got it the right way. And then we're going to stick this on with some foam pads again. Now again, I've used quite a lot of foam pads on this card. If you wanted to make it flat so that it was perfect for posting, again, just skip the foam pads. It'll still look lovely. We just like a lot of dimension in here, so we go to town on the foam pads. Okay, so So I'm going to peel the backs off of those. Like so. And then I'm going to stick that down onto here. You see it's starting to look super glittery and lovely now. Okay, so to create the flowers, I have taken some of the yellow flowers from the vellum pad. This is our vellum pad, and I've just taken 2 sheets of the yellowy colour ones. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim a little bit off the top, just so that they're perfect for fitting in the folder. I'm literally just going to take a slither off the top. And then we'll bring in our 3D folder again. What I like to do is kind of tap them to make sure that they're the same length and everything, and then I kind of hold them up to the folder. Slot them in, make sure they're in the correct position, fold the back down and keep tight hold. I'm then going to bring in my plates again, so I'm going to use my cutting plate and then my plastic shim on top, and we're going to feed that through the machine. And then you can see we've got those lovely embossed flowers. So I'm going to leave the 2 sheets together, and then I'm going to bring in the 3 matching dies, and I'm going to stick those into position using some low tack tape. So I'm going to hover over and then stick that down with some tape. Stick the next one down and the last one down. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape over the centre as well. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my plates again. So we're going to use our cutting plate, our plastic shim. I'm going to flip those that way, and then our cutting plate on top. Feed that through the machine. Just wait for that to go out the other side. And then you can see we've got those lovely die cut flowers. You can do these one at a time if you want extra precision. It's quite easy to just do a few at a time. And then they look lovely laid up. Okay, so you can see we've got our flowers here. So I'm just going to show you what to do on a couple of them because I've already got some pre-made. So just move those ones to the side. And grab in some scrap paper again. And we're going to use some lemon drop Sparklicious. So all I'm going to do is just add some blobs of glue, little dots of glue to the petals, like so. All over the petals. And then we're going to cover those in lemon drop Sparklicious glitter. It's a lovely lemony colour. This one is one of my favourites. So, there we go. Okay, and you can see we've got those lovely sparkly flowers now. Okay, so I have got a couple done already of each size. I've made up the small ones and the medium ones, and then I've got the large ones. So all I'm going to do is create essentially a valley fold, but I find it easier to flip it over and create it like a mountain fold. So just going around, pinching those petals. Like so. And then we're just going to add a blob of glue into the centre. And then I'm going to offset the second one and stick it into the middle. Okay, and then you can see we've got our 3 floral blooms there. So I'm going to bring in our card again. And we're going to use some 3D glue gel. So I'm just going to add a blob of 3D glue gel at the back of the large one, back of the medium one, and then on the back of the small one. And then you can see how that's really starting to take shape now. Okay, so I've then created the stamens in the centre. So I've taken the little stamen die and we're going to use some white card. So I'm just going to grab my white card. So we're just going to stick that stamen die onto there with some low tack tape. And then we're just going to feed that through the Gemini again. So I'm going to use my cutting plate, my plastic shim. I'm going to put the metal in this time because it's quite fine. The card stuck with my die and cutting plate on the top. Feed that through and we're going to do that 3 times. I have got some prepared, but you need to do it 3 times for each of the flowers. See, we've got that lovely stamen. I'll just pop that out of there. Just grab a pokey tool. Just gently poke that through and then peel that out of the die. Then you can see that there's just some little tiny pieces just to push through. So there we go, we've got that lovely little stamen. So then what I've done is I'm just going to ink that up. So I've taken some dried marigold distress oxide and one of our blending brushes, and I'm just going to ink around to change that from white to a lovely pale orangey colour. Okay. Then what we're going to do is then I'm just going to add a little blob of glue, a little ring of glue around the little pieces on the edge. So. And then we're going to use some Fiesta Sparklicious. Super duper sparkly, this one. I'm just going to sprinkle that on all the way around. And you can see how we've got that lovely sparkly stamen. Okay, so I've got 3 of these done already just so that they're dry. Bring those in. There we go, and bring the card back in, and then we're going to stick those into the centre of the flowers. So I'm just going to pull the edges of the stamen up, add a blob of glue into the centre. Just get rid of that big blob. Add a blob of glue and stick them into the centre of the flowers. Again, pulling up the edges. Stick them in the centre. And into the centre. Then I'm going to take 3 of our 10mm sparklers. And I'm going to add those into the middle of the stamens. So And you can really see how this is starting to come together now. Okay, then we are going to add, I think we'll add our sentiment next. So again, I've just taken 2 of the smaller Decagon dies. So I'm just going to go around this one, around the edge with some glue and some Luscious. So again, I'm using Crystal Crush. So I'm just going to put glue all around the edge. There we go. Oh, missed a little bit. And then we'll just use a foam pad and we're going to stick that down here. Like so. Okay, and then I have taken a sentiment from the Birthday Happiness sentiments, and this one says, "Hope your birthday is as wonderful as you are." And then I'm going to ink that up using our Wow Clear Embossing, just throwing it around, Wow Clear Embossing ink pad. So lots of light tapping all over the stamp. And then I'm just going to take this off there so it's easier to see. I don't know if I've already pressed that down, we'll find out. Okay. And if you've just got some little, I think I'd already tapped that down, we'll do that again. Right. Okay, so let's use this piece of white card. So I'm just going, I think I needed my anti-static bag, the one I needed. Okay, there we go. So just anti-static over that. And then again, Wow Clear Embossing ink, ink up the stamp. Stamp that down. And then we're just going to cover that in metallic silver superfine. There we go. And then we'll heat that up. There we go, much better. See, anti-static bag does make a huge difference. Okay, now let me just figure out which one, not that one, this one. Okay, so I'm going to line that up onto there and then tape that into position like so. And then we'll run that through with the Gemini. So I don't need my metal for this one. So I'm just going to use my cutting plate, plastic shim, and then card stuff in the middle and cutting plate on the top. There, and then we've got our lovely embossed sentiments. I'm just going to pop a foam pad on the back and then we'll stick that onto our card like so. Okay, then we're going to create some little butterflies. So I'm just going to grab our little butterfly dies. Our little butterfly dies, and I've already just pre-stuck them together with some low-tack tape, and I've taken another piece of the patterned paper. I'm using this kind of yellow speckledy one, so I'm just going to pop those onto there and then we'll run those through the Gemini. Again, I'm going to use this time the metal shim just to give it a little bit of extra pressure, them being very fine. Pop those through. See, we've got our lovely solid butterfly there, and our filigree butterfly, our solid small one, and filigree one. Okay, now to make up the butterflies, again I've made the large one up already. I'll show you with the smaller one. So we're going to use our chisel tip glue pen again. I'm just going to ink over the, not ink over the wings, sorry, glue over the wings with the chisel tip. And then we're going to dunk those in Crystal Crush. And then it just gives them some lovely sparkly wings. Okay, then I'm just going to add a little bit of dry clear glue just down the body of the butterfly. I'm going to shape these wings upwards and then stick the bodies together. I'm just going to use my pokey tool to push them down together so that I can pull those wings up. Just want it to be stuck in the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of our self-adhesive sparkles, and these ones are the Luscious Yellows, I think they're called, and I'm just going to add some of the smaller ones just down the centre of the body, like so. Just going to add a little blob of glue for that one, just with it going on to glitter. Need an extra little bit of adhesive. There we go, and we can see we've then got our two lovely butterflies ready to go onto our card. Okay, so bring our card back in, and we're going to stick these onto here. Now you can either use foam pads, you can use glue, you can use 3D glue gel. Today I'm going to use 3D glue gel just to give them a little bit of extra lift. I'm just going to pop those down, a little blob in the back, and stick those onto there, like so. And then to finish our card, all I'm going to do is add some blobs of glue around the bouquet, like so. And I'm going to bring in our yellow floral sequins. I think I might put these onto here so I can see them a little bit better. I'm just going to sprinkle a few of those out. And then I want some of these ones, some of the sort of cupped florals, and I want some of these little small ones as well. Okay, so I'm just going to take my tweezers and just pop these on where I want them to go. Like so. We'll have that one there. This one down here. I'll have some of the smaller ones. Okay, and just put these ones back in the jar. Okay, and then you can see how that's really started to come together, And to finish off, all I'm going to do is add a little blob of glue into the larger flowers. And I'm going to add in one of the self-adhesive sparkles. Just pop the glue in just because with them being shaped, sometimes the adhesive hasn't got much to stick to. So the glue just helps fill in that gap in the middle so that I know they're not going to come off. And then you can see how we've created that lovely spring-like card. I think it would be perfect for lots of occasions, and it would be lovely for Easter as well. Thank you for watching today. I really hope you've enjoyed that demonstration. As always, all of the products used in today's video will be listed below, so please go and check those out. Thanks for watching. Bye.